Human Right Education, mock board examination tayo. 25 katanungan ang inihanda natin para sukatin ang inyong kaalaman. Okay, after this, ipopost natin yung sagot at makikita ninyo dito sa ating description box. Alright, so let's start to question number 1. Any person under investigation for the commission of an offense shall have the right to letter A, be informed of his right. Letter B, to remain silent. Letter C, have competent and independent counsel, preferably of his own choice. Or letter D, all of them. Question number 2. If law enforcement officials decline to offer a Miranda warning to an individual in their custody, what would be the consequence or consequences? Is it letter A? They may interrogate that person and act upon the knowledge gained. Letter B, they may not use that person's statements as evidence against them in criminal trial. So which one is a good answer, A or B? Question number 3. Under the Constitution, who is only authorized to issue a warrant? A, President. B, any elected officials. Letter C, court. Or letter D, any of them. Question number 4. If the person cannot afford the services of counsel, he must be provided with one. These rights cannot be waived except letter A, in writing. Letter B, in the presence of counsel. Letter C, voluntarily. Or letter D, both A and B is correct. Number 5. Under the Constitution, any confession or admission obtained in violation of the right of the accused shall be letter A, admissible in evidence against him. Letter B, inadmissible in evidence against him. Letter C, conditionally admissible in evidence against him. Or letter D, subject to a waiver. Number 6. Which of the following is required before the issuance of a warrant? A, period for the application of warrant. Letter B, the authority of the officer requesting for warrant. Letter C, the existence of probable cause. Or letter D, all of the above. Once again, press 6 sa ating mga participants. Okay, press 6. Get also the number 6 here as my guide when you are going to stress. Number 7. Religious test shall be required for the exercise of civil or political rights. A, true. B, false. C, may be true. Or letter D, may be false. Number 8. The law provides for penal and civil sanctions for violations of the rights of the accused during custodial investigation. A, true. B, false. Number 9. An act defining certain rights of person arrested, detained, or under custodial investigation, as well as the duties of the arresting, detaining, and investigating officers and providing penalties for violations thereof. Letter A, Miranda rights. Letter B, RA 3874. Letter C, RA 7438. Or letter D, RA 8552. Question number 10. If the occupants or any members of the family of the place to be searched is absent, what is required by law to make a valid search? A. At least inform them that search is done. Letter B. A witness. Letter C. At least 2 witnesses living in the same locality. Or letter D. All of them. Number 11. A counsel that is willing to fully safeguard the constitutional rights of the accused is what we call letter A, independent counsel. Letter B, competent counsel. Letter C, counsel de officio. Or letter D, counsel de novo. Number 12. When appellant talked with the mayor as a confidant, his unconcealed confession to him is letter A, clear violation of his constitutional right. Letter B, did not violate his constitutional right. 13. Does the prohibition for custodial investigation conducted without the assistance of counsel extend to a person in a police lineup? Letter A, yes, it is already a part of custodial investigation. Letter B, no, it is not yet a part of custodial investigation. 14. Are confessions made in response to question by news reporters admissible in evidence? Letter A, no, without a lawyer it is void. Letter B, yes, statements spontaneously made by a suspect on a televised interview are deemed voluntarily and are admissible in evidence. 15. What is the constitutional? Okay, I repeat number 15. What the Constitution prohibits is the use of physical or moral compulsion to extort communication from the accused, but also an inclusion of his body in evidence when it may be material. A, true, or letter B, false. 16. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without blank. A, due process of law. B, warrant of arrest. C, search warrant. Or letter D, evidence. 17. Rights appearing to a person by virtue of his citizenship in a state or community. A, human right. B, civil right. C, political right. Or letter D, all of them. Number 18. Any person, no matter how poor he may be, cannot be legally, letter A, denied of access to judicial bodies. Letter B, denied of access to quasi-judicial bodies. Letter C, denied adequate legal assistance. Or letter D, all of them. 19. This role places upon the prosecution the task of establishing the guilt of an accused, relying on the strength of its own evidence and not banking on the witness of the defense of an accused. A, presumption of guilt. B, presumption on the knowledge of law. Letter C, presumption of innocence. or letter D, presumption of fact. 20. These rights are imposing limitations on the power of the government as a means of securing the enjoyment of those rights. A. Human right. B. Civil right. C. Political right. Or letter D. All of them. 21. Under search warrant, which of the following is required to be described in particular? A. Place subject of search. B. Police officer who will going to search. Letter C. A and D are correct. Or letter D. Time in the execution of the warrant. 22. The privacy of communication and correspondence shall be inviolable, except letter A, upon lawful order of the court, letter B, when public safety or order requires otherwise, letter C, when it is necessary, or letter D, during election period. 23. A type of notification customarily given by police to criminal suspects in police custody. A. Miranda warning. B. Notice of violation. C. Reason for his arrest. Or letter D. Charges against him. 24. The language used in a Miranda warning is derived from the 1966 U.S. Supreme Court case. Is it the case of letter A, Miranda versus Arizona? Letter B, Miranda versus U.S.? Letter C, People of the Philippines versus Miranda? Or letter D, Miranda versus California? 25. The conditional release of a defendant with the promise to appear in court when required. A. Pardon. B. Probation. Letter C. Parole. Or letter D. Bail. Alright, so natapos na natin ang ating self-evaluation sa araw na ito. Mag-press 10 tayo. Press 10 para makita natin yung participants natin hanggang sa pagkakataon na ito. Press 10, press 10. Include this 25, include this number 25 as guide. Okay? Sa pag-SS ninyo, kailangan makita ko later on yung number 25 question. Okay? Press 10 sa ating mga participants sa final examination na ito. Press 10 tayo. Ayan, so marami na tayong nakikita nag-press 10. Okay? So submit your answer not later than 10 o'clock tonight for recording. Antayin nyo lang yung link na ibibigay natin mamayang 6 o'clock. Okay? So once again, maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay at see you again next meeting. Have a nice day, everyone.